about the difficulties in dealing with high stressful situations or scenarios, such as caring for a loved one with disabilities. Having two daughters with disabilities has been extremely difficult to manage. But I think the bigger factor that I've had to deal with is just managing my stress levels and being able to say, okay, I can't do it anymore. I need help, which has been always really hard for me because I've always been, I guess I've always been that woman that needs to take control of every scenario and just manage it based off of my level of expectation instead of having to ask for someone to help me and driving that person to that full resolution, right? Or if I wanted a certain way, it's kind of it's hard to not only just tell someone how to do it, but let go of that control so that you know it's going to be done the right way. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a seasoned subscriber, welcome back. On Mondays, I do videos all about fashion, accessories, skincare, just stuff that I enjoy doing, that I use actually as a tool, which will go kind of hand in hand with this video. What I do as a tool to help me get through my very difficult challenges as far as like just dealing with all these medical emergencies. And then on Fridays, I do videos all about TSC and FSGS, which is tuberous sclerosis complex, and FSGS is the kidney disease, both of which my daughters have the gene, and we've been dealing with on a crazy day-to-day basis. And I just give you a little bit of insight of all of our hurdles, what we've faced, what we've overcome, what we're still dealing with today, and just give you some insight. So if you're interested in either or topic, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you can be notified on all of my latest videos, and hit that like button because I could definitely use the support of the algorithm gods. Comment, let me know your input and your stuff that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and let's get started. So my focus today is all about how I've learned to manage my stress, how no matter how difficult the scenario in our lives or the situation in our lives became, I found my way to kind of keep myself out of a deep depression. That was one of my objectives, right? And keep myself sane, right? So that I don't get sick. Because what people don't realize is, or some people don't realize, is that if you take on so much and you continue to take it on, it builds up on your stress levels and you start reaping, unfortunately, the benefits from that, right? So that means that as you continue to deal with something over and over again, and it becomes even more stressful. For example, if you keep on taking on more and more and continue to deal with that stress, your levels of inability to handle that stress grow, and your body's going to start to shut down. Stuff that can happen is you can have a stroke, your blood pressure can skyrocket, causing a number of other issues. You can have massive headaches where you're not able to even wake up in the morning because it's so hard to even concentrate. You'll start losing sleep, and then again that will go back to affecting different parts of your body. What I found myself dealing with was not being able to sleep. So that means when I would wake up in the morning after like 3-4 hours sleep, I was not able to concentrate. Really difficult at work to concentrate. I wasn't able to just go about my day because it was so hard for me to even just stay awake, right? So that was one of the things that I had to deal with. Not only that, but I saw that my blood pressure was going through the roof. So I had to be real cautious because I only have one kidney, right? Because I donated my kidney to my daughter back in 2012. So I started seeing the effects of that. So there's just a little bit of here and there of things that you need to recognize and be able to say, okay, this is too much. I'm not dealing with this properly. So in a lot of my circumstances were highly stressful scenarios. So my oldest daughter, like, she had a lot of situations where it was always something else, right? So for example, she got towards the end of her dialysis sessions, she was really, really sick. So she couldn't walk more than 10 paces without getting really, really stressed out, or really have serious, like, really debilitating anxiety, where she couldn't, she just couldn't move anymore. She'd have to sit down. Then she started to having difficulty breathing, where she would have to sit down and calm down, and then her breathing would not get better, and we'd have to rush her to the ER. So that was like a nightly session thing, right, where I was just terrified of even going to sleep. So I was constantly up. She had one incident where she was bleeding excessively through the nose, which, by the way, is common. If you're not aware, when you are on dialysis, nosebleeds are actually more common than you realize, and we didn't know because she didn't have them for years. So towards the end of her dialysis sessions, that's when she started. She had a really bad she had a really bad nosebleed, and that was terrifying. So that was fun, but and it was just one incident after another. So when she finally got her kidney, it didn't start right away. So those 2 weeks of just high stress, where we were worried that her kidney would never start, that was a very stressful scenario. Just seeing my daughter so sick all the time on dialysis, it was just, I was losing sleep because we couldn't get her blood pressure under control, or she had to get a surgery because she had to have her parathyroid removed, or she wouldn't stop bleeding because she had very heavy periods after she got her donation. That was another very stressful situation. Or she couldn't go long periods of walking, and she would get really sick, nauseous, dizzy, so she'd have to sit down, and that would be another stressful situation. So it was nonstop. So I had to find different methods to kind of control that stressful scenario. 3 things that I learned to do and have helped me tremendously. And mind you, this took quite a bit of time before my body started to say, okay, I'm going to release this bad energy and get you back into just a mind frame of, to get you back to a state of mind where you can, again, find somewhat of your peace. Obviously, it's never going to be, I'm never going to be 100. I'm always going to have those little sessions or those period of times where I get highly stressed out because I worry about my daughter, which is fair, right? But 2 things that I do up front, actually 3 things, excuse me, that I do that have helped me. Actually, I'm going to add a 4th. Or more like a reset. I think that's a good way to put it. Because it really takes a lot of positive thinking to kind of get your mind straight, right? And this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's something that's going to take a little bit of time to get your mentality straight where you want to be. And it took me several weeks to months almost just to get myself back to just my peace and my calm every so often. So these are just a couple of items that I used to help me get or gain. These are just a few items that I use to help me get to my end goal. One of my key items is this really great candle. This is one candle, the white lavender eucalyptus, and this was a Bath and Body Works candle. It's absolutely beautiful, the can, if you could see it there. The casing. It was like painted flowers on it. Absolutely gorgeous. This one worked really well for me. This is probably like my 3rd one, but I've tried different ones. This is probably my favorite scent. And you have to find something that works well for you overall. Obviously, there are a lot of people that are kind of offended by certain scents, so just make sure you find a good candle. I use this whenever I do at home. I do some just meditating. So I find a quiet room, sit down, fold my legs, turn on the candle, put on music, and one of my favorite apps that I use is Calm. Very relaxing. I'll either put like a meditation, someone speaking, just helping me meditate, or I put just like the ocean sound or the birds chirping in the back, something that I can go and find my peace. And a lot of it has to do with just finding what works well for you. I also do this in the shower. Like, I'll run a hot bath or a hot shower. I'll sit under the water, let it run on me. I'll put the candle on, and I'll put the meditating music in the background. That helped me a lot. And I think that was probably one of the biggest factors when it came to me overcoming a lot of these really, really depressive states in my life, where I thought that we were never going to get out of a certain scenario with a positive outlook. But I always try to push the positivity, so I had to keep myself balanced so that I did not fall into a deep depression and allow the negativity to overcome me to a point where I couldn't get out of it or get out of that state. So those are the key items that I use to get myself sane, and it really helped me out long term, and I've gotten to a better place mentally because of it. And I actually haven't gone back, and no matter how difficult the situation became, I was able to still find my peace, and it was all through obviously using these little tools that I ended up testing out and ended up working for me. So another good option is writing in a journal. That helped me a lot too. Keeping my thoughts on paper, reading those thoughts out loud, and recognizing what was causing these possible issues too. That actually helped me as well. Another thing that helped me get through it was my 2 dogs. Now, I adopted my Linky, he's an 8-year-old Dotsie, and my 3-year-old Dotsie Lola, a little 5 years later. But they definitely keep me preoccupied. Now, I don't recommend that for everybody, because obviously dogs are a huge responsibility, and I work from home half the time, and half the time I work in the field, so it gives me that flexibility of being able to care for the dogs. And also my husband works from home as well, so it helps us. So it definitely helps us out. So I hope these tidbits help. I know that everything doesn't work for everyone, but these are key items that help me out a lot. So thank you so much for listening in. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you can be notified on all of my latest videos. Also, please hit the like button, because I definitely need the help of the algorithm gods as I continue to grow my channel, so that I can continue to make my videos and get my message across and out there to the world. And thank you again so much. And please don't ever forget to focus through and evolve. Ciao.